Okay. Can you see me here? Yeah? This works. This is a new spot that I'm trying out. So let me know if it doesn't work. Hello. Okay, I'll give it a few minutes for some people to join. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Okay. We're going to do a yoga class tonight. That can be done for beginners. So anyone who wants to join. We'll give it about 1 minute for people to show up. Hey, Christina. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. We will start yoga then. So I'm a few minutes late. Thank you guys for being here. Start by just finding yourself a comfortable position. Whatever that means to you. So I like to prop up my seat a little bit so that my hips are over my knees. So you can have a more erect spine. See both those cameras? Okay, perfect. Everyone hear me all right? Great. So start just a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. Soften your shoulders. Find yourself nice and comfortable. So I have been trying to practice this concept of allowing myself to be in a timeless manner. So trying to do things one moment at a time. So for me, that's been my Shavasanas and meditation, not putting a timer on it, but allowing my body to really just know what it needs and be guided. And then it's been really cool then just seeing what comes up and then allowing myself creativity afterwards. So I think what's been coming up in my meditations a lot is that we're all guided. And so trying to force less and allow myself to kind of take it moment by moment more. So I think it's kind of cool that shows up on our mat and in the world as well, both on and off the mat. So tonight I'm going to challenge you to just notice what comes up in the body. There's no need to force it to look a certain way, but noticing how it feels and knowing that you're guided, your body knows what it's doing, you're guided by your breath. So with that, we'll start to tap into our breath. Maybe closing the eyes or keeping a soft gaze, softening the shoulders. Feel that breath that moves through you that's always there. The breath is going to be the ultimate guide for the practice. At any point we notice the breath start getting labored or forced, we'll see if we can soften something and really just allow the practice to unfold one moment, one breath at a time. So feeling the breath move through the body. Maybe you're feeling it at the belly. Maybe it's at the chest. Maybe at the nose. All of it's okay. It's not good, not bad, it just is. same way that we can accept the things that come up in life. We don't need to label them or put these attachments or expectations on them. Just simply notice. So you can take one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Feel the breath move against the belly. Maybe feel the hand on the chest move. Start to breathe into these hands now. So we'll breathe in, feel the belly get bigger. Breathe in, feel the chest get bigger. Breathe out, the chest gets smaller. The belly gets smaller. Breathe in, belly. Chest. Breathe out, chest. Belly. Breathe in, belly. Chest. Breathe out, chest. Belly. Keep breathing like this. Even inhales, moving through the entirety of the lungs. Even exhales, letting go of all of the breath. Fully filling, fully emptying. Getting connected with this vital life force energy that moves through our body, that keeps us alive. One more breath like this. And you can gently drop the hands to the thighs. Allow the breath to just come to you naturally. And notice how the breath's moving here. Notice its length, the pace, the depth. The more connected we are with the breath, the more ability we have to have some control over the state of the mind. And then we'll bring our hands to heart center. I like to begin class with one round of Om. Om is the sounds Ah, O, and It's a vibration that you can kind of feel through the body, and it's just a nice way to let our bodies know it's time to practice yoga. It's time to be present. So you can join in if you like, or you can just listen. Taking a deep breath in, filling the belly with air. Gently bring the hands to the thighs, lower the chin to the chest. Softly blink open the eyes, taking in what's right in front of you, this present moment. Lifting the gaze. Interlace the fingers, thumb tips are going to come to touch. You're going to turn the palms so they're facing out in front of you, and then breathe in, take the hands up overhead. Pause here, soften the shoulders. Tone the abdomen, draw the ribs back, lift your chest. Deep breath in, getting nice and tall to the palms of the hands. And as you breathe out, we're going to curve the back. So rounding the back as if we're pushing it away. The hands are going to come lower. As you inhale, the chest is going to come forward, opening up through the heart. Hands come back behind you. Exhale, chin to chest, round the back, push the back away. Inhale, coming forward with the chest, spreading your collarbones, lifting the hands back. Exhale, chin to chest, push the back away, rounding. So moving this with the breath, just kind of opening up the spine, the shoulders, strengthening the arms. So inhale, comes forward, exhale, round the back, hands come down, folding. Inhale, opening back up. Let's do 2 more rounds, breathing in, opening up. Breathing out, folding. Last one, inhale, reach up. This time just hold it up. Again, toning that abdomen, reaching the hands up. Strengthen your arms, but see if you can soften the shoulders away from the ears. Relax your eyebrows. Soften your face. One more breath in, sitting up nice and tall. And as you breathe out, unhooking the hands, letting the arms come all the way down, releasing the shoulders. And then just pause for a moment and notice how the arms feel. Having the arms down by the side is something we do all the time, but when we put a little effort into them to hold it up, notice how much better, how much more grateful you can feel for just having the arms down. And then shake them out. Shake out the shoulders, shake out the arms, kind of let all that stuck energy come out. And then we'll take the left hand to the left side of the body. Right hand's gonna come up overhead. So that you're making a nice big side body stretch on that right. So from the right hip crease all the way out the right fingertips, see if you can get a lot of length. Breathing in to the ribs, breathing into that right side body. Creating space. The right shoulder draws away from the ears. Breathe in, both hands come up overhead. Breathe out now, bring the right hand to the right side body, left hand comes up overhead. Getting long in the left side body, drawing the left shoulder away from the ears. So breathe in from that left hip crease all the way out the left fingertips. Breathe out, soften. Creating space between the ribs. Using the breath. You can kind of feel like an abstract concept to kind of move the breath through the body. But the more we connect with the breath, the more we realize we have control over the breath, and we can create more space in the body and the mind. Breathe in, both hands come up overhead. Breathe out, hands through to heart center. Breathe in, circle sweep the hands up overhead. Breathe out, take them through to your heart again. Do that once more. Breathe in, circle them all the way overhead. Breathe out, come all the way through to your heart. Hands at the heart, soften the shoulders, just noticing here. Maybe you notice the heartbeat. Maybe you notice the breath. Great, and then come to hands and knees, tabletop position. So the hands will be directly underneath the shoulders. The knees are going to be directly underneath the hips. The feet are going straight back behind you, and the tops of the feet are on the ground. So make sure that your knees aren't touching here, that there's space in between them. And so just for reference, the hips are the inner hip creases, so the knees really should only be about 2 fists apart. The fingers are spreading nice and wide. The index fingers are pointing forward and parallel with one another. And then start to just notice what comes up in the bodies. Begin to Make little circles with the hips, maybe one direction or the other, just feeling, letting the breath, the body kind of guide the movement here. And then you can also make circles in the shoulders, so almost like making figure eights with the body. But allowing yourself freedom to hang out in any spot that has a little bit more tension. So for me, sometimes that's on the hips a little bit. I might rock back and forth. And then if you feel comfortable, you can even send your breath to that spot. But nobody can see you, so just let yourself kind of move organically. Just moment by moment, really feeling what the body has to say to you. Listening. Nice, and then we'll come back to just a neutral spine whenever you're ready. Pressing the left hand into the ground. Breathe in, reach the right hand up overhead. Breathe out, we're going to take the whole right arm underneath the left. So threading the needle will come onto the right shoulder. So it might seem like, how do I get there sometimes, but you can really just bend the left knee. You can take the hips back a little to bring the shoulder to the ground. The right cheek will come to the ground. If that still seems impossible to do, you could pad it up. I've got blocks, but a pillow, a blanket will work too, just to stick underneath the arm. It can feel really good to kind of rock into that shoulder area too. So you can play with the intensity depending on if you rock more or less into the shoulder. The left hand can either walk out long in front of you, or left wrist can come to right hip crease. Breathe in to the tension here. Notice the intensity. And then allow your breath to move through it. When you're ready, you can bring the left hand back underneath the left shoulder. Press the left hand into the earth. We'll come out the way we came in. So inhale, reach the right hand up overhead. Exhale, right hand back to the earth. Pressing the right hand all the way into the ground. Inhale, reach the left hand up overhead. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, the whole left arm is coming underneath the right arm, coming onto the left shoulder, left cheek. So either the shoulder is going to come to the ground easily. It's going to be a little harder to get there. You might need to bend the right arm. It might seem awkward. Or you can pad it with a block, a pillow, something to kind of get into that outer shoulder area. Right hand can walk out long in front, or right wrist can come to left hip crease. You can play with the intensity again on this side. Maybe notice if this shoulder feels tighter than the other side or not. Keep breathing. And then we'll bring the right hand back underneath the right shoulder. Push the hand to the ground. Breathe in, reach the left hand up overhead. Breathe out, left hand comes to the earth. Nice. And then take your hands and we're going to turn them around so that your fingertips are facing towards the knees. You can do one hand at a time if it feels like a lot to do both, or you can do both all at once. This can be a huge wrist stretch. Even just staying straight up. If you want a little bit more, you can take the seat back just a little bit and open up. about you guys? My wrists have been very tight lately. So kind of just stretching them out. What I notice, which is interesting, is my right wrist is tighter. I guess it makes sense since I'm right-handed. So breathing into the intensity here, and then we'll slowly turn them back around. And then this time we're gonna flip the wrist. Do this one at a time. So flip the right wrist so that the palm is facing up. You can kind of push into the wrist a little bit so you're opening it up. Sometimes I'll move the wrist more to the pinky edge side, more to the thumb side, feeling where it's tight. For me, it's tighter towards the pinky edge side. And then undoing that side and flipping the opposite wrist. Breathing into the tension. Noticing what you notice. And then unflip, take the finger tips so they face out to the long edges of the mat. And just kind of rock back and forth, side to side. Next, and then hands come back towards neutral position. Maybe take a seat on the heels, and then you can also just rotate the wrists out a little bit. Okay. And then coming back forward into that tabletop position again. So the feet are straight back behind you. Reach the right leg back behind you. Extend the right leg towards straight. Fingertips are still spreading nice and wide. Flex your right foot so that the toes are facing towards the ground. The right hip will tend to kind of creep up here. See if the right hip can face towards the ground as if there was like a headlight on it. Both the left and the right are evenly facing towards the ground, parallel. So keep pressing back with the right foot. Deep breath in here, and as you breathe out, you're going to bring the right knee towards the face, crunching it so the face can come in, rounding through the back. Inhale, reach the right leg back behind you, looking back up. Exhale, crunch, so knees coming towards the nose, rounding through the back. Follow your breath. Inhale, reach the right leg back behind you. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach again. And then bring the right knee back to the ground. Notice one side feels any different than the other. Likely it will. And then reach the left leg back behind you, flexing the feet so that the toes are facing towards the ground. Your left hip is facing towards the ground too, so that the hips are both parallel. Left hip isn't rocking up. Deep breath in, pushing back with the left foot as you breathe out, crunching the left knee in towards the nose. Round the back. Inhale, lift it. Back behind you, looking up. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Left leg comes behind you. Exhale, crunch. One more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it all the way back to the ground. Knees come wide, feet come together. For child's pose, take the seat back towards the heels. The hands can walk out long in front of you. You do want your forehead to connect with the ground. This stimulates the vagus nerve, so the forehead is struggling to get there. You can put a pillow, a block, a book, a blanket underneath. So play with the arm position here. A lot of times you just reach the arms out long. Maybe try flipping the palms up. This can have a little bit of a different feeling in the shoulders. Just notice which one your body likes better. Arms down or flipped up. One other option is reaching the arms back behind you towards the feet and letting the elbows, the shoulders kind of relax down.
So notice whichever position your body likes better. And then notice your breath here.
So taking this time to kind of get connected here in child's pose. This is a pose that's available to us throughout practice. So it's always a resting pose. If it's not resting for you, you can come to your belly. But as I've kind of said from the beginning, this is about honoring your body. So whatever shows up for you is okay. Okay, one more breath here. Fill the belly with air.
Let it all go. Take the hands back underneath the shoulders. Push the hands into the earth. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Press through the index fingers and the thumb. Get really strong through those through that knuckle. That's going to help you kind of feel a little bit more rooted. As you inhale, take the shoulders forward so the shoulders are over the wrists. That might mean taking a little bit longer to stand so that you can be in a plank pose with a nice flat back. As you exhale, take the hips up and back without moving the feet or the hands for downward facing dog. Again, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can keep a bend in the knees. Keep pressing into the index fingers. Keep rooting the knuckles down into the earth. Maybe bend one knee, straighten the other. Breathe into the tight spot that shows up in the hamstring. And you can try the other side. Nice. And then the bottom of the next exhale, look between your hands. Step or walk the feet forward. It might take several steps to get there, but our feet are going to come in between our hands and we're going to fold forward, letting the head hang. So as you see, I'm going to have a bend in my knees. It can either be a slight bend or a big bend, whatever is going to keep connection with the low ribs, upper thighs. So we'll try and do this, where you see how there's like that space in between. It's like I can't reach my toes. But if you bend the knees and give the ribs something to be supported by, it's much easier to let the hands come down. Let the head hang here. So instead of trying to hold the head up with the neck, see if you can actually just release those neck muscles. By gravity, take the head down. And shake your head yes or no. Notice what feels good for you. Another option is to grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. None of those are commands, just options. Breathing here. And then if you have the elbows, you can release them. Take your hands to your shin, breathe in for a flat back. So that's lifting about halfway and looking like a few feet in front of your feet so that you're looking down instead of looking up at the wall and cranking the neck. You want a nice long spine. Exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Keep breathing. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Then take your hands to your hips. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, come all the way up to standing. And then notice your feet here. We want our feet to be about hip distance. So that inner hip crease, which is also about 2 fist distance. Feet are parallel with one another. We have a tendency to kind of walk or stand with one foot maybe facing out or bend in the knee. So you can just be completely straight so that Our hips are stacked over the ankles, our shoulders are stacked over the hips, and then the crown of the head is coming up straight from there. Shoulders are softening down. Opening your shoulders up, palms facing open. Tadasana pose. Finding some balance here. Noticing if your weight is more in the heels or the toes, and see if you can find a spot right in the middle. I personally hang out a lot in my heels, so until I say that and bring the awareness to it myself, I'm gonna have to rock a little bit forward. Nice. Breathe in, reach your hands all the way up overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Breathe out, fold forward. Uttanasana. That forward fold that we've been here before. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, hands come to the earth. Step just the right foot to the back of the mat. Bring the right knee to the ground. Uncurl the right toe so the whole right foot is flat. Pressing the back right foot into the earth, pressing the left foot into the earth. Getting your balance here, either staying here right on the ground like this, feeling the stretch in that right hip crease, or inhaling, lifting the torso, biceps come up by the ears, shoulder blades relax down. Opening up with the heart, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, fold forward, hands come to the earth. Uncurl through those back toes. Lift the knee off the earth, step the right foot up to meet the left, fold back forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly rise up, circle sweep the hands up overhead, reaching all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Tadasana. Notice your Tadasana pose. So again, just checking in with the feet. And then breathe in, reach the hands up overhead. Breathe out, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Step just the left foot to the back of the mat. Bring the left knee to the ground. If that hurts the knee, you can always fold your mat over if you have one. You can bring a blanket underneath the knee, anything to give it cushion. Uncurl through the back toes so the whole back foot is flat on the earth. Pushing into the back foot, pushing into the front foot. In order to inhale, lift the torso off the leg if you want to go here, lifting the biceps up by the ears. The other option is just to stay lowered and feel into that left hip crease. A lot of stuff gets stored in the hips, so it can be a really great option just to hang out here and breathe into that tight spot. If your hands are up overhead, breathe out, take them back to the earth. Curl through the back toes, step the left foot up to meet the right. Forward fold again. Inhale, half lift, flat back. So hands can come to the shins, looking a few feet in front of the feet. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slowly lift up. Hands coming all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands through to the heart. And close your eyes for a moment. Noticing what you notice. Maybe noticing if the breath is any different now than when we started. Noticing the energy that's rearranged in the body. That energy that is you. How just a little bit of movement with the breath, using the body, can kind of rearrange that, can give you a different feeling in the mind, in the body, and the soul. And then gently blink open the eyes. Hands hands can come down. And then noticing the feet again here. So pushing the feet evenly into the earth. Push just the left foot into the earth. Come up onto the right toes. So right knee can bend a little bit to do that. Trying to get super light in the toes instead of putting your whole weight in there. See if you can just feel just the toe barely touching. This is a really cool spot to balance. Just kind of tapping the toe off the ground. Trying to not just force the toe into the ground at any point, but getting really light. You can do that by putting your weight more on the left. By also finding a spot maybe on the ground to focus on, to still the mind. If you want to go a little further with balance, I personally like bringing my hands to my heart for balance. Helps me kind of feel connected. But if they're enjoying it by your side, that's okay too. You can bring the right knee up a little bit. If you can, if it comes back down, that's okay. Just try and land lightly. Lifting the right leg. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe the right knee lifts even with the right hip crease. You can flex the toes. The toes are pointing straight out. Keep trying to balance here by focusing the mind. And if you come out of balance, that's okay. We get an opportunity to practice moving back into it. So either staying right here, if you want to go a little bit further, I like to bring my left hand to my left hip. Right hand come on the right knee. You're staying there or opening the right knee up to the right. Opening through the hip. You can bring the right knee back to the center if it's not already there. Try to straighten through that right leg just briefly, noticing the balance, and then bring the right leg back to the ground. Shake out the feet. Notice any tension that might have built up in the opposite leg. And then we'll try and balance on the other side. So pushing the right foot into the ground, getting light on the left toes. Bring your hands to heart center if that's helpful for you. Getting super light so that the toes are just barely touching the ground. Either just keep balancing here with that slight bend in the left knee, or you can lift the left foot further off the ground. Maybe the left knee comes all the way up so that the knee is in line with the hip, or maybe it comes back down. All of it's okay. Focusing the mind by stilling the gaze on one point. So this gaze in yoga is called the drishti. The attention, where the attention goes, the energy is going to flow. So if the gaze is going all around, the mind is going all around, then we're likely going to wobble and fall down. So trying to focus. If you want to go a little further, you can bring your right hand to the hip, left hand to the knee. Sometimes the right hand extended up can be great for counterbalance too, so maybe notice what feels better for you. And then the left knee open out to the side. Opening up to the left hip. Flexing the left feet. And then bringing the left knee back to center. And straightening that left leg out a little bit. Arms can open up for counter. And then bring it back to the ground lightly. And then shaking out the left leg. As I say lightly because I did not land it lightly. Nice. Shake, 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 shake. Beautiful. So breathing in, face back towards the front of the mat if you're not already there. Breathing in, reaching your hands up overhead. Reach up with the heart as you breathe out, taking the hands back to the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step the right foot back, followed by the left. Take the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here, really big breaths. Fill the belly up there. Let all the air go. Fill the belly up. Let it all go. And then bring the knees to the ground. Cross the right shin over the left so that you're making like an X out of your shins. Take the seat back a little bit. I like this right here because it feels like the right shin is kind of massaging out that left calf, so you can move it up and down if that feels good for you. Or maybe you don't notice that at all, maybe I'm just weird. If it does feel good, you can try out the other way. So left shin can come on top of the right calf and then take the seat back a little bit. Use the shin to kind of open up any tight spots in that muscle on the right calf. And then eventually we'll come to seated, so if it's comfortable for you to just keep walking all the way back and sit, you can. Or you can take your hips to one side and just kind of curl out and come to seated. Whatever feels good. Taking both legs long out in front of you, flex the feet so that the toes are facing towards the nose. Hands can come by the side, by your hips. So the shoulders are stacked over the hips, reaching out tall out of the crown of the head. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Deep breath in here. This is Dandasana, our staff pose. Strong legs. Keep flexing the toes back. Feel the legs strengthen. Feel the quads kind of get nice and tight. And then release the toes, release the quads. Feel what it feels like to just let it all go. And then bend your right knee. I'm going to get something to prop up my hips because they tend to kind of wobble back here, so you're welcome to do the same if you like. Left legs out, right knee straight. And then take the right hand back behind you. Breathe in, reach the left hand up overhead. Inhale, get nice and tall out of the left hand. As you exhale, we're going to twist. The left arm is going to come around that right leg, reaching around. If you really like twists and your body can twist more, you can also take the left elbow outside of the right knee. I prefer to just kind of hold. So the right hand's coming back behind you. As you inhale, you're going to get tall from the base of the spine out the crown of the head. Exhale, you're going to twist, looking at the shoulder behind you. Each inhale, see if you can get a little bit taller. Each exhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. Keep taking your gaze back if that's comfortable in your neck. Your left foot can be flexed here so that it's nice and strong in that left leg. It's engaged. Each inhale is length. And slowly untwist, coming back to center. Take the right leg long and this time bend the left knee. Left hand is coming back behind us. Right hand is reaching up towards the ceiling, getting nice and long out of that right side body so that we get length before we twist. Wrap the right arm around that left leg. Or you can also take the right elbow outside of the left knee. Not forcing anything though, but just noticing and doing what your body is guiding you to. Inhale, getting tall. Exhale, twisting, looking at the shoulder behind you. Each inhale, get more length so that we can twist from that length. Engage the right leg so the right foot is flexing back. One more breath. And gently untwist, coming back to center. Letting that left knee rock open. The feet are going to come together, the knees are going to open out wide. For Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So this can be a lot on the hips here, or we can fold forward if you're ready to go a little further. Getting length first, so reaching out from the crown of the head. As you exhale, drawing the torso forward. You want to come forward with length in the spine, so not rounding the back at all. But nice long spine, keep walking the torso forward. For inhales, exhale lowers you more. This idea of flow, so moving with what flows
forcing anything, but trying to find acceptance for what comes up. So maybe what comes up today is that you're just halfway there, when what normally comes up is you feel like you can lower more. That's in all poses and in life. So allowing whatever shows up in this present moment. I think that's what I've really been trying to work on in my life is really just playing into my own intuition, connecting with myself, so whatever flows is able to come up instead of having this idea of I don't know what to do, letting that be okay, because there's a lot of unknowns right now. Breathing through it and allow my body to guide me to exactly what I need. And it's been really awesome. Breathe in, reach the torso back upright. Bring the knees together and then make your way onto your back. So coming onto the back, knees are facing up, feet are down. Take the right ankle on the left knee, so that you're kind of making a figure 4 here. You can just, if you want to stay right here, you can keep that right hand on the right knee, just keep kind of pushing it away to open up the hip, or you can bring the feet closer to the face, flex both feet to protect the knees. Stay here, or interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, sorry. And then you can use the right elbow to push out on the right thigh. You can find stillness, or you can rock side to side, maybe feeling that stretch on that right hip. Slowly unhook the hands if they're not already. Bring the left foot back to the earth. Take the right knee up and over the left so that there's no space between the legs. So that that right knee is right on top of that left thigh. Bring the legs back in towards the face again. Grab opposite feet, so the feet that are closest to the hands. You can pull the feet closer to the face. You might feel a little stretch again there. Just take 3 breaths here, breathing into any tight spots. Inhale. Exhale. And then keeping the legs where they're at, bring the feet closer to the ground. Push that left foot into the ground to lift the hips just a little bit, move them just a teeny bit over the right. And then take the legs over to the left, keeping them kind of hooked so that we're doing a little twist here. The right hand can come open into a T or a cactus. Your gaze can be up or it can be over the right shoulder. Slowing the breath down here. Inhale, see if you can feel the breath move from the tailbone through the spine, opening up into the chest, the torso. The exhale twists you open more.
unhook the legs. We'll do the other side, so the left ankle is on top of the right knee now. And then you can either just use the left hand to kind of push that left knee out, or you can lift both legs off the earth, flex both feet to protect the knees. Take the hands through, so that left hand's kind of coming through that hole you made and interlacing your fingers behind the right thigh. You can use the left elbow to push out on the left thigh if that feels nice. You can rock side to side or just find stillness. Unhooking the hand, bringing that right foot back to the earth, crossing the left knee up and over that right thigh so that there's no space in between that area. Lifting the legs back up off the earth. See if you can reach your hands for those opposite feet. They might not reach to, and that's okay. Kind of just pulling the feet just gently so that you get a little bit more stretch. And then I feel it more in the left hip crease usually. And then 2 more breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. Then let go of the feet. Bring the right foot back to the ground. Push the right foot into the earth. Lift the hips just a little bit. Move them up to the left. Reach the legs up and over to the right. Open the torso up to the left. So left hand is coming either long beside or out into a T kind of position, or bending the elbow into more of a cactus. You can look straight up ahead or gaze over the left arm. Slowing your breath. Breath here. And slowly bring the legs back up. Unhook that top leg. And maybe windshield wipe the knees out so knees can go all the way over to the left. Knees can come all the way up to the right. Just kind of open up the hips here, or that feels good. And then eventually those come straight up. Taking the arms long beside the body, walk the heels in so that the heels graze the tips of the fingers. We're gonna move with our breath here. So we'll start one at a time. So just noticing the breath, breathing in, filling the belly up with air. Breathing out, letting it all go. Notice that breath. We're gonna move our hips at the same time. So pressing the feet into the earth, breathing in, filling the belly with air, lifting the hips up off the earth. Breathing out, lowering the hips back down. Follow your breath nice and slow. The arms will come with it too. So breathe in, fill the belly with air, lift the hips, lift the arms up overhead. Keep reaching the arms all the way back so the palms touch behind your head. Keep lifting the hips. Exhale, lower the hips, and then take the arms down so that at the bottom of the exhale, the hips touch and the palms come all the way down. So inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms. At the top of the inhale, hips are all the way lifted and the back of the palms are touching behind you. Exhale, lower the hips, lower the arms. following the breath, seeing all three of these things can move at the exact same time. One more, breathing and lifting everything up. Lift the hips a little bit more, hold the breath. Exhale, lower the hips, slowly lower the arms all the way down. And then hug the knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around, give your knees a nice big squeeze. Giving yourself a hug, showing yourself gratitude for putting in the practice, for noticing all that comes up, for following the breath. And then you'll relax the legs, nice and long on the mat. Legs are opening up wide. I like to say wide enough so that if you pulled your feet together so that like if you tilted your toes in, the toes wouldn't touch. So opening up, that gives us room to just completely let the legs relax. And then opening the arms up long beside you. Just letting them all kind of relax comfortably. If you have anything else to make yourself comfortable, feel free to gather that now. I like to keep this blanket underneath my head, roll it under so it makes sort of like a pillow-like for me so I can feel nice and comfortable. I often put a bolster underneath my knees, but noticing if that feels right for the body today. It doesn't always just have to be out of habit. And then letting your body lay completely still on the ground. Any last wiggles, try and get them out. Closing the eyes for rest pose. Before we go into that, start to make a fist out with your hands. Tighten the hands super strong, as if you were gonna punch someone. Really tight hands. Then do the same thing with the arms. Like you're making a muscle, super strong arms. Tighten up the shoulders. Squeeze the back, the belly, squeeze the face. Like you have a very mad face on. Squeeze the butt. Like you're clenching the butt together. Squeeze the thighs, the calves, ankles, the heels. Squeeze the toes in. Tight, tight, tight squeeze. And then release. See if you can let all of that go. So you're softening every finger. Soften the arms. Relax the shoulders. Soften the belly, the chest. Relax the hip, the glutes. Soften the thighs, the calves. Relax the ankles, the heels. Relax every toe. Soften the eyebrows. Soften the whole body. Allow yourself to just be here. Allow yourself to stay here as long as you please. Instagram is going